Hey guys, so I have had the 50 random facts tag on my list of videos to do for a while, and I thought today would just be a good day to do it. I have had people ask me some pretty strange questions before on this channel, so I thought I'm just going to give you guys 50 random facts, and maybe that will answer some of them. I don't know. Let's just do it. I am 5'3" and 1/4. Really hoping to make it to 5'4", but I don't think that dream's going to come true for me. I have 1 point left on my license. Actually, it's March. I might have got those points back. Basically, I'm a bad driver. Nothing serious. Just a few speeding tickets. Something about a stop sign I missed. I don't know. I will have been married to my husband for 4 years this August, but we have been together for 8. I have ADD, and that's something you guys may have already picked up on. Probably, because I tend to get distracted and stuff. I am actually a teacher. A lot of you guys know that, but I'm currently on mat leave. I love my job. I love my students. I miss them dearly when I'm not there. I just find it, I've always wanted to be a teacher, and I really love what I do. I was adopted when I was 3 weeks old. I have 1 brother and 1 sister. No, they are not blood, but no one gives a about that in our family. We're just all family. I love them dearly, and that doesn't just matter to us. I have a terrible, terrible fear of stingrays. Like, terrible. My friend is a marine biologist. She trains animals. It's amazing. Her job is amazing. And we went to the Dominican together, and she wanted to jump in a pool of sharks, and I was like, yes, let's do it. I was all over it. We swam with the nurse sharks. It was so amazing. But part of this package that we bought was that we didn't have to, but it was included, so she really wanted to do it, was to sit in this pool of stingrays. I honestly cried and freaked out, and it was part of a live show, so it was really embarrassing. Oh man, I don't know why. They just freaked me out. However, I have no fear of really large aquatic animals like belugas or, dolphins or sea lions, that kind of thing. I think they're awesome, and I could like kiss and hug them and put my hands in their mouths all day. I have no fear. But stingrays, I love sushi. Spicy tuna. My birthday is November 12th. I have a scar on my forehead. Right there. You know how when you're a little kid and you stand on your bed and then you just fall face first into your mattress? I was doing that. I missed the mattress and I clunked the corner of my head on the side of my wooden dresser. I remember sitting up and being extremely stunned for a good 30 seconds before I walked downstairs with a bloody face, and my mother was like, what what's going on? I have 2 tattoos, 1 on my lower back. It is a butterfly, and I got it probably 8 years ago now. I got it when my grandfather died because it is a symbol of new life, and I have always just really loved butterflies. I also have 1 on my left hip, and it is just my initials. A name that my mother considered for me was Shasta, and she actually was inspired by that when she saw it on the side of a trailer. I don't know. I still have an unhealthy love for the Backstreet Boys. My favorite new kid on the block was definitely Jordan Knight. I try really hard to eat healthy, but I just cannot resist cupcakes. I can't. It's just, I don't know why. I love them. I suck at making mashed potatoes. They are like either too lumpy or too runny or just watery, and I don't know. I don't know how my mother does it. I can do this weird thing with my ring finger top knuckle joint, but only that one bends that way. My go-to Starbucks drink is a skinny vanilla spice latte with whip. Cause I'm mad like that. I believe that butterflies are good omens for me. Every time I see one, I just get an overwhelmingly good feeling, like something really good's gonna happen. I see them and I'm just like, yes, something good is happening. They make me feel alive and happy. I love them. I had a mushroom cut as a child. I secretly really like Spider-Man. I know it's weird, I know it's dorky, but there's just something about Spider-Man that I think is so cool. And when I went to New York, I was standing on top of, well, I wasn't standing on top. Okay, I was actually in New York City when the last movie was being released, and there's just Spider-Man everything. everywhere. And I took an elevator to the top of the Chrysler building and I could see this big red and blue light in the distance, and I was like, it's like Spider-Man really existed to me. It's like I really believed in him in that moment. Also, there's this really cool artist and he was just like painting things with spray cans on the side of the road, and I found this, and it is the view of New York City through Spider-Man's eye, and I was like, this is so awesome. And so I bought it for my son. I absolutely love to travel. I want to travel to so many places. I love traveling. It's just, oh, it's one of my favorite things to do, hands down. Organization is a huge, huge struggle to me, and I have gotten a lot better. When I was a child, my mom used to get phone calls and, you know, notes on report cards all the time saying like, Stephanie is really having a hard time organizing. Most of the things are on the floor around her and not actually in her desk. I have never had a cavity. I tend to connect more with cats than dogs, for sure. I have a really big fear of overpasses, you know, like the ones that you have to drive over while there's cars driving underneath them. I don't mind if there's water, but if there's cars passing underneath, my fear isn't really driving over them as much as it is walking over them. And when I was a kid, my best friend lived probably like a 20-minute walk from my house, and I used to go to see her all the time, but I had to cross an overpass to get to her, and it got to the point where I would just stand there and cry and freak out, and I couldn't bring myself to walk over the overpass, so I would actually basically take a big risk, which now that I'm older realize was really stupid of me, but I used to actually crawl under the overpass, go down this treacherous embankment, run across the highway, climb back up, and then start walking on the road again to avoid walking over that overpass. I hated it so much. It was just terrifying. I'm getting sweaty thinking about it. I hate it. I am anemic, which basically just means I have really low iron, so I have to take iron pills. That's nothing. My first ever job, other than babysitting, was at a clothing store that made handmade clothing and quilts, and I used to have to wear their clothing to work, and oh my gosh, I would go to work in like these embroidered t-shirts and like floor-length quilted ruffle skirts. It was so terrible, but it's how I got money to buy cool clothes to wear to school, so yeah. One of my absolute favorite smells is the smell of fresh bread baking. Like, there's nothing better than when I go home to my mom's house and she's baking bread and her whole house just smells like bread. I love that smell. When I was in grade 12, I decided that I wanted to bleach my hair and give myself some crazy highlights for the prom. And I didn't want to spend the money on it, so I just got a kit and I started doing it myself. My hair was pretty long at the time, and I was just kind of like working a piece like this, and it slipped out of my hand, it came down, and I got a huge like a huge clump of bleach in my eye. I could actually see it on my eyeball. I was wearing contacts, and I think that's what saved me, but I still had to go to the hospital, and my eyeball was swollen. I ended up having to get, you know, like eye drops and everything. Luckily, it didn't really affect my vision at all. However, my hair was pretty much just fried, and I had to pay a lot of money to get it fixed. My favorite ice cream flavor ever is called Monkey Tracks, and I don't think they make it anymore. I could not find it anywhere last summer, which devastated me, but it's banana ice cream with these little caramel cups, and then it has like a chocolate swirl in it, and it is so good. Marlena, or Makeup Geek, was the first beauty guru that I ever discovered. I just searched one night for like how to apply eyeshadow or how to do a cat eye, or I don't know, it's something like that. And I found her and I just became transfixed. Like, I watched so many of her videos that night and I kept going back, and then I discovered there was this whole community of beauty gurus, cut to now, and I am really thankful for that, because this is like a really fun part of my life and I love it. So thank you to Marlena for that. One of my biggest pet peeves is when I'm waiting in line at an ATM and the person in front of me takes way too long. Like, they get their cash, they count it to make sure it's all there.
They organize it in their wallet, they stop, they take the slip, they read their receipt, they have to like, I don't know, it's like, hurry up, what are you doing? I want to get in and out of this line.
I'm 100% a night owl. Like, if I could live at night and sleep during the day, I might. I was little, I would have reoccurring dreams about horses. Usually there was one that would stand at the top of the hill in my backyard and run down to my back door and give me a really cheesy smile. Now that I'm older, I'd say like from the time I've been a teenager until now, I have a reoccurring dream that me and my sister are in a car. She is driving and I am pushing the pedals with my hands, and I am like crouched down kind of under the seat controlling the pedals, and I can't see through the windshield. So she is driving and kind of ignoring me, and I'm like kind of screaming at her like, do I gas or do I brake? And she's not really answering, she's just steering. It's weird, but I am 100% completely awful at math. I have at least 4 visible burn marks on my arms from like curling irons, straighteners. Here's one. I think this one was my oven actually, a curling iron. I often burst into fits of laughter at the worst time. Sometimes in the middle of the night or just like at night when I'm lying in bed, I will think of something that happened earlier in the day or even months ago that was really funny, and I will just start giggling uncontrollably, and my husband is like, what are you laughing at now? And I'm like,
remember that time that so-and-so fell and...
When I am mad, I throw things, and I know that's silly, but it's just how I get my anger out. I will just chuck things. I'm pretty much the opposite of a type A personality, but most of my best friends, I'd say like 90% of them, are type A. I mentioned that I was adopted, and right after I was adopted, my parents applied for another child. When I turned about 2, I guess I was such a holy terror that my mom actually had to call the adoption agency and postpone the adoption of their next child, because she said there was no way she could handle me and another baby.
I love cheese.
I was a bartender for 4.5 years before I was a teacher. Actually, even a few weekends when I started teaching, I would still bartend, and I actually had to dress up as a bar wench. I loved my job, it was really fun, and actually made pretty good money too. So yeah, that's a fun fact. I am generally a really cold person. I think I have like poor circulation or something because I'm usually freezing. Someone woke up. I have only ever had one pet dog in my life. It was a part poodle, part terrier. Her name was Barkley, and I loved her. I love to sing in my car, don't I? My favorite shows are currently Breaking Bad. I am obsessed. And also Dexter. I've loved Dexter for a long time. Kind of getting into The Walking Dead. What do you like? You like Elmo? And Doodlebops? Alright guys, I think that was 50 random facts. I hope so. And I think someone woke up because she's hungry, so now we have to run. Can you say bye? Say bye. I hope you guys like this. I will tag some people below, but if you feel like doing it, please do, and I hope you leave it as a video response. It was pretty fun. I will see you guys again real soon. Bye guys.